Hey Rosettes, nice to see you again. Today we're coming with with a foundation review, I guess you could say, of all the foundations that we've had in the past and currently have right now and our favorites. But first, Clarissa wants to show you something.
I am so excited. I can't believe she's actually letting me do this right now. I am a diehard fan. And I know you people out there right now, our little group, are gonna love it. Love it. You are gonna love it too. So let's slide it up. Doctor Who! I mean, come on. It's like Doctor Who. Okay.
She has her own wand too.
It's not a wand.
Whatever it is.
It's a sonic screwdriver. Get it right. Or don't ever speak of it again, okay? Alright, she's
a wand. And she's
oh!
pointing it at things because she thinks that it could fix anything.
It fixes a lot of things.
It's a toy.
Anyways, back to makeup stuff.
Sorry for that little...
We just had to. I was just so excited.
She just had to.
Just had to. So go on, Emily. Tell us about your foundations that you've had over the years, pros and cons, finishes, all that jazz.
So you want me to start?
Yeah, you're gonna start.
Okay. Mind you that our thing is winging this video, and every video we do. That's just a part of our genuineness, I guess.
Yeah. It's just more us.
Alright. So, my first ever foundation was a powder, and it was by Neutrogena, and it was, I guess, a setting powder, but I would use it as a foundation and just set it all over my face. That was when I was in 6th or 7th grade. And now, the powder I'm going to show you was a foundation by Bare Minerals. This is what the packaging looks like, if it would focus.
It's focusing on our faces.
Manually. Whatever.
Here, I can do that, and you can, like... There you go.
It's still not.
No? Oh.
Well, it's in the shade Light. It's a powder foundation. My skin tone, I'm very fair, and I have problematic skin. And I'm combination to oily skin. Sometimes I'm dry, but that's only in the winter and usually on my forehead. But I wouldn't recommend this foundation for a very busy person who has oily skin, because this can only last you about a couple hours, 4 at max, because by the end of the day you will see your natural skin coming through and the foundation will get into dots, especially around your mouth area. Maybe not for some people, but for me it happened that way. But for the days you just want to go natural, you want to go light with your foundation, I would recommend this. Now on to Clarissa.
Oh, we're going back and forth? Like,
yeah.
Okay. I don't have a powder foundation. I wasn't very, you guys already know this, I wasn't very big into makeup when I was younger. Well, I kind of was. More in the eyeshadows and mascara. That was more me, and blush. Foundations, not so much. I rarely ever, like you guys know, wear primer, all that jazz. Recently got into foundation. My very first one I've ever purchased was the L'Oreal True Match, and Emily, if you want to focus that. Can you guys? You know what? It's focusing on our face. Now it's my face.
Now it works.
This one is in Warm Sunbeige W6. Now this still is, I believe, the darkest in that like yellow undertone section. The next one over, it is darker than me, but it's under the blue label, which is, I guess, cooler tones, and it just doesn't match up too well. I was using this. Cons. Let's start with cons first, because I want to end on a positive note. Besides the fact that I couldn't find my shade, despite the fact that it's a true match and it's supposed to come in all these shades, and I couldn't find it. Like, what's that? The other really bad thing, like, I don't think she minds that much, but I can't stand the smell of this thing. Like,
unless it's like toxic, then I would mind. I don't want to stink.
Like, it's a mixture of,
how does it smell?
like tar and like glue or something. I don't know. It's really weird. Like,
nice description.
It's really, and I noticed, like, what I noticed when I remember is when I would put it on my face. I mean, you smell it, and it's not something that just you put it on like a minute or two, it goes away. It stays for a while. The other con to this, well, maybe not to other people, but to me personally, I do not like the feel of makeup. Y'all already know. I like to wear makeup, but I don't want to feel cakey or heavy, and by like 30 minutes of it being on, I want to rip my face off. I don't like it. This is one of those foundations that makes me feel that way. it's just it just feels heavy. It feels cakey to me. But I used to use it all over my face a couple times, not all the time, just whenever we went out. I just like, you know what, let me just do foundation. I just started putting it all over my face. Because I already bought it and I didn't want to waste it, so I wanted to figure out a use for it, which brings me to the positive side of it. It is an amazing under eye concealer for me. I'm not using it today, but I now use this because I want to waste it, use it up, to apply underneath, and it's not so heavy that it makes me feel cakey, but it's heavy enough to cover my dark circles, and it doesn't like come off. It doesn't come off. Is that the right way to say it? I guess after a couple hours, it doesn't really like come off.
It doesn't fade away.
Yeah, it doesn't fade away. It's not super dewy and it's not super matte, which I love. It's right in the middle. It's perfect. Other than that, the other benefit to this is something that I'm really, really big on. Emily knows, is SPF. This sucker has it. I think a lot of products now are coming out with having.
Yeah, and I too have been really recently into SPF, knowing how good it is to have that protection.
Yeah.
But going back on her foundation, relating to her, it looks like nothing on her, but in a good way, meaning that it's like second skin. And I know I always say that with her, but it's true. And though she feels that it's on her, and she feels the makeup, you can barely tell that she has any makeup.
Like, it's a little lighter. Like, I would probably, like, if this were the only thing I had to work with, I would wait till the winter, end of winter, where I still have some kind of tan from the summer, but I would wait to like middle, end of winter, I'm a little bit lighter. This would probably be like a closer match, but until then I'd probably just use it as an underneath or something. But I mean, Emily says it looks like second skin. I believe her. She's me every day, so. Emily.
So the next foundation that I'm going to do.
Oh, sorry, application. What we use, how you apply.
Oh, right. Well, for the Bare Minerals one that I was just talking to you about, I don't have the brush with me, which I should have had it, but I forgot to bring it. It's just a Real Techniques powder brush, so any powder brush that you have could work. Sorry. But
Okay, this is a mini. Oh, I said Real Techniques. Never mind.
Yeah. But what I was gonna show, like,
it's the mini version.
This is similar to what the BH Cosmetics, oh my god, no. The Bare Minerals recommended brush for the powder foundation looks like, but I didn't feel the need to buy an over $20 brush just for that foundation. So I just decided, let me just use what I have, and the Real Techniques one worked just as.
With this one, I applied it with my hands and a brush. The brush I used was not a foundation brush whatsoever. I used what I had. I wasn't really big into brushes at the time, and I didn't have any face brushes aside from my contour and blush brush. No foundation, nothing. So, and like I said, the reason being because I never really wore foundation to begin with. So what I would use is that one day I just bought this, and it was just, she calls my hands baby hands. They're normal size, by the way. But I do like smaller brushes. Like, I just feel like I have more control over them. So my first little purchase of brushes was the EcoTools, like, travel size one, and the brush I would use to apply the foundation, just to apply it and kind of like make it somewhat even, was this one, which is I guess a small powder brush. I don't even know like what you would call this, but it would still leave some kind of streaks, which I know is like horrible. So I would use my hands, like warm them up, and then kind of blend it a little bit better into my skin. That's how I would use this foundation. Yeah, I wasn't big into makeup by then.
Okay.
Foundation, actually.
Well, next thing I'm going to show you is a concealer, and it's the Maybelline Fit Me concealer. On days where I don't want to waste my foundation, excuse me, I can't speak today, I just would use concealer and just put it all over my face, not being messy with it, and it would look like foundation. And I remember one time going to Ulta, and the lady asked me what I had on my face, and I just told her concealer, and she was surprised by it, so I guess it does look like a foundation. But yeah, I think this is a good concealer. However, if you don't set it, it will crease on you. Yes. But it is a good concealer. It's just the creasing problem. And as a foundation, it has good coverage too if you use it that way. However, I wouldn't recommend it for oily skin because it does get a little glossy at the end of the day. So
I just recently picked that up to review on it. Basically, I think she just said the coverage, the end finish, everything. The other foundation that I recently bought, which you guys will know, I'll do a full length. I guess this will be our review for it. You know what? this will be the review for the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer that I recently did on our haul. If you haven't watched the video, you should watch the video and we'll link it down below. And if we have something to forget, because there's a lot of things in our mind and our plates, just go ahead. It's on our videos. One like the second video we posted up. We picked up the Fit Me Concealer from Moi. I'm out of the frame. This one, okay, so basically the only other concealer, actually, not the concealer, foundation. What am I using now? I lie. The one I've been using, the second one I picked up is this one, which is my baby, which is the love of my life. I love this thing.
Aside from her husband.
Aside from him. We're talking makeup, so this is my husband, makeup world. No, I'm just like, it's amazing. Okay, so I went to Sephora, wasn't expecting to really pick up makeup really that much, and I just wanted to go in there and get tested for the type of skin tone I was.
That she was lying to herself.
But I was with her, and so
it just happened.
that's proof enough. I was with her. That's the only reason I have to give. So I picked this up. They matched me to Laura Mercier Chai, the Smooth Finish Flawless Fluid. That is a tongue twister. And I love it. Love it, love it, love it. I cannot say that enough. Here's the reason why. I do have one con, like one bad, like one negative, but that's a little later. Okay, so as Emily says it, it's like second skin to me. It does not feel heavy. I applied it with my beauty blender, of course. I love this thing.
Holy grail.
Like, we're gonna purchase another one because we use it so much. I applied with the beauty blender, and it's just very sheer. Like, there's coverage, don't get me wrong, but it's very sheer at the same time. I don't know how to explain it. It's very thin, very light. It's light. It's very light. There is coverage. And
you even said that you don't even feel it at all.
Yeah, you don't feel it. Like, you put it in, and it's like you don't have any foundation on. Like, it's amazing. The other thing I really, really like about it, besides the fact that it matches me really, really well, is the fact that it doesn't take long to set. The con with this one is that it did I say that? It took a while, right? No. It was like instant, I believe. Yes, instant. Dry. This one wasn't as long. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, okay, so in comparison to the Fit Me, this one takes forever to dry on my face. Like, I just did a tutorial with using this one, and after the tutorial, which was an hour long before we edited it, like, feel my face, it still feels like wet, and it made me feel greasy and oily. It just made me feel really, really gross. And I had her feel my skin, and it was still moist. Like, it was still wet. It hadn't set or anything. Granted, I don't use a setting powder. I don't use setting powder for any of my foundations, though. Like, I just don't do that. I want to see how it sets on its own. And this one, amazing. As soon as you put it on, it, like, that's the noise of it setting. Okay, it's just beautiful. I mean, if you could go in and get a high-end, it's not that expensive. I don't think it's that expensive. Foundation, this one, I mean, you can't go wrong with it. But besides that, the con about it, I don't like that. Like, with these, you don't really have to shake them. Like, you pour them out and it's already set. You can just use it. The Laura Mercier one separates. Like, if you don't shake it, and it has a little ball in there for you to shake it, and granted the directions tell you, but if you, like, are in a rush and you just forget or something and you pour it out, there's, like, a separation between, like, the foundation and I don't know what's in the formula that does that, of, like, this really clear, like, fluid. It's kind of like water or oil. I don't know what it is. If you don't set it, that'll come out. Like, if you don't shake it, that'll come out instead of your foundation, and it's really gross and runny. You have to, like, wash that off. So that's, like, a waste of product. So you have to shake it before you apply. Other than that, I mean, it's an awesome foundation. Like, that's my baby. Nothing wrong with it besides that. I love it.
I mean, I am reading the back of the bottle because it was weird. Like, she said there was, like, a clear liquid, and it does say it's oil free, so I'm getting it's just like a water-based foundation. So that's the only reason why you have to shake it, I'm sure.
But just the fact that, I mean, you could just use it, you could shake it, use it, and set it, and, like, say you're doing something else, like, oh, let me go touch up again. Like, you think you've already done it, you've shaken it already, but you have to do it again. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's not a big deal for most. It's not a big deal for me. I'm just saying that's the only con is, like, if you just forget or something, it just comes off and it's gross, and that's it. That's pretty much it. Emily.
What do you use for it?
Oh, I did. I told them my beauty blender.
Oh. Alright, so the next foundation I'm going to show you is the NARS Sheer Glow Foundation. Now, I'm going to be super critical as I am with everything, and I know a lot of you out there may have this foundation. But to be honest, the only main reason I bought this foundation is because of the name Sheer Glow. I was looking for a foundation that had more of a glowy finish, because a lot of the foundations that I tend to get have a matte finish, which I'm not a huge fan of right now. But this one, it's not as glowy as I thought it would be. Given the name, it's not matte at all, but there is a matte collection for this foundation. But I am wearing this a lot lately, and it can be light, but you can build up the coverage, which is always nice on days whether you want to go natural or you want to go a little bit more full coverage for those breakouts you have. And this can be good for acne prone skin.
There's a Joe here if you can't see it. There is a Joe.
But yeah, I know some might say that this is not good for acne prone skin, but it actually is. But I usually apply it with my Beauty Blender, which I apply all my foundation with. Sorry, it's dirty, I use it a lot. Or I can apply it with my Flat Top Kabuki by Sigma or my Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. But if you do have dry skin or dry patches, I would recommend a Beauty Blender because it helps the foundation go over more smoothly than any of these brushes with the NARS foundation. And yeah, that's all I can say. And they also have a wide range of shades, which is always nice. And for me, it's very hard to match to my skin tone. It's a weird skin tone. But
yeah, they always match her on the pink, but she's actually yellow.
I'm warm tone. They get pink because I have redness from my acne scarring and acne that I have. But from my neck down, don't think that way. It's yellow tone.
Yeah. That might be, because we were just discussing earlier, that might actually be the next foundation I pick up, just because I wanna have a good range of knowledge on foundations. Did I say mascara?
I don't know.
I think I was thinking of mascara of foundation I'm gonna pick up, because I just want to have, like I said, I want to have a wide range of knowledge on them, and I feel like I have a good grasp on the drugstore, even though the drugstore has really been stepping up and, you know, with its formulas and the new lines that they're coming out with. I mean, they've been stepping up. I'm not saying I never bash drugstore. Like, you can find, like we said, a lot of good stuff at the drugstore. But that might be the next one I pick up, just because I feel like, for example, Kat Von D's foundation is really, really heavy. I already know I'm not going to like it. I mean, it's named Tattoo. Like, seriously. So I know I'm not going to like that, but Emily was saying, you know what, NARS might be a really good next foundation, so that might be something.
And also, as I was mentioning, the wide color range, this foundation, and everyone who has it always says that there's a wide color range and everyone can find the shade. I cannot find my shade.
I can't find my shade. Even though she said this is like perfect, to me it's not. Like, you can tell, like, it's obviously lighter. You know what I mean? And I have to wait for me to become like slightly pale at the end of winter from no sun. You're not pale, okay? You like it, I mean, you know what I mean. Courgettes, you know what I mean. But like, there's nothing in the yellow. Like, if I go darker, it's gonna be blue or pink, and it's not gonna look great. Like, it just doesn't look great. Anyways, the third foundation that I have, that I already kind of gave you a little glimpse of is the Maybelline Fit Me foundation. The one I have is in shade 240. Again, I love that it's SPF. Because even though it's winter, and even at night or anything, you're supposed to be wearing SPF. I am big into that. Ask Emily. All that. Your daily cleansing routines, everything. I hooked her up. Okay? Yeah. This one is the closest I've ever seen the foundation get to the Laura Mercier one, which I love this one. The only other con with this, besides the fact that this one doesn't dry as fast, I guess it's because it doesn't dry as fast. I do feel it a little bit, not as much as the L'Oreal one, but I still feel like it on my skin. I'm wearing it right now. It's not that bad, as you can see. This is after like 1 hour or two of wearing, because I just did a tutorial. But the only other con is because it doesn't dry as fast, it just makes me look, in my opinion, oily. It's not a nice dewiness, no. I know what dewy looks like, I know what like nice glow, no, it's just oily. It just feels oily, it looks oily. And even in the last tutorial, the tutorial I did today, I even went back, and I don't do it. I took my Too Faced powder and tried to set it, and I don't set foundation, and just because it's looked that way, even on the camera and everything. That's the only other con I really have. Otherwise, they have a good range of colors, in my opinion. I was surprised that I found my shade. Like, Emily helped me out. I like that it's SPF. I like how it goes on. It's not heavy. It's a little bit, like, I feel a little bit, but not bad at all. Like, I could wear this. Like, if I don't want to waste this one, or if I run out, easily I can pick this one up. I apply that one, again, with the Beauty Blender, or, I mean, even if I didn't have the Beauty Blender, I'm not big into brushes. I was telling Emily this earlier also. I just feel like a lot of rubbing on my face just makes me feel gross, and like I'm gonna break out and irritating my skin. Even though some of the brushes are really, really soft, I just don't like them. I'm a more Beauty Blender or fingers. Like, that's my honest opinion. Like, I'll use my hands to apply foundation if I don't have a Beauty Blender before I ever reach for a brush. Unless there's a brush out there. If you're a girl who was like me and you found a brush that was, oh my god, drop everything, grab it, comment down below, let me know, and I'll go check it out with Emily, and we'll see.
Another thing with the Fit Me foundation, they do have a better color range than the L'Oreal ones, but I'm not gonna like bash L'Oreal because this is a good foundation.
It is. It's hard to find my
Though
color.
in the wrong color when I did have it, I did like the finish. But for this one, if they just change the formula a little bit, make it like last a little longer for oily skin, especially because I had oily skin at the time I was wearing this. Not saying, I don't know if my skin, whatever, can change over the time, but it probably can. So excuse what I just said. But anyways,
it can, because it depends on what you eat, and like that all affects like your skin, how much water you're taking. I mean, I can get into this, I'm telling you. But yes, so your skin can change. Probably not like 100%, you know, but you will notice some changes. Maybe you're not as oily as before, or as dry, you know what I mean? So go on.
but when I was oily and I did wear this, all you have to do is just set out some powder. But then again, you'd get that matte finish easily if you did go over with some powder. But good color range. It actually did match me when I did have it, and that was tanner. But yeah, it is a good foundation. Just change up the formula a little bit to last a little bit longer.
Yeah. And this one even says it's a new shade, so this wasn't there back then, I guess. I mean, I'm just assuming. But I can definitely vouch for her saying it is oily, just because even on my skin, and I'm dry, and I even felt like, ugh, you know what I mean? And usually we love moisture, like, give us more. But this was just like, no, this is not working out. And that's for someone who's dry. Imagine her as she was wearing it, and she was oily, you know what I mean? So that's just something to keep in mind.
So, my baby, the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation. This, so far, is my favorite foundation right now. I'm going to buy a Giorgio Armani foundation and see how that works out. We both are, because we love the reviews and the finish of it. But this one is good for those days you want a flawless, full face of makeup, full coverage foundation. However, if you do wear this and you do use any brush, you might look like you have foundation on. I don't know what your preference is, if you want to look like you have makeup on, or you want to go for a more natural, like it's actually your skin look.
That's usually my look.
But if you do it with a brush, you're going to look like you have foundation on. But the Beauty Blender can save you and make you have a natural finish with this foundation. Again, favorite of mine if you have acne prone skin, if you have oily skin. Dry skin, not so much, because it can be a little bit drying, and because it does have a matte finish, it can get into your dry patches. I would know because I have some on my forehead and sometimes on my chin. But yeah, this is good. You do not need to set this foundation at all. It sets itself, and it does not, well, it can set a little bit faster than usual, I guess, depending on the day or depending how your face is reacting. But yeah, it's a nice foundation. And you get what you pay for, especially in the packaging. It feels so luxurious. It's like a frosted glass bottle. But of course, you know, if you're beauty and makeup obsessed, the packaging will get you. But it's not just the packaging. You do get what you pay for. As I said, the foundation does feel like it has some quality in it. And yeah, you won't be let down.
Alright, so that pretty much concludes our foundations over the past, like, what? I don't know.
Lifetime?
Yeah, lifetime. Yeah, we're from the beginning till now.
Yeah.
It may seem like a little bit. I'm sure there were a couple between Emily and myself, like foundations we've tried out that we just like forgot about or whatnot. But these were just the ones that really stuck with us, even until now. But our next review, little sneak peek, will be
of some of the primers we have. We have the Tarte primer, the Bare Minerals Poreless Professional Primer,
the L'Oreal
Magic Lumi one, and yeah, we'll be sure to get to you on that with that video. And if you have any other comments, suggestions, or requests, leave them in the comments section down below. Don't forget to subscribe and thumbs up this video for more videos. And remember, as we grow,
you grow.
Bye guys.
Bye.